Okay, it's been a couple years since I did a video review, but I just had to for this game. So Donkey Kong Country Returns is here, this time developed by Retro Studios, the same guys responsible for Metroid Prime 1, 2, and 3. Based on that history, it's clear Nintendo needs to put Retro in charge of more of their franchises. Retro knows how to take what made classics so great and implement them into the standards of modern gaming. I have no problem saying that this is without a doubt the best DK game ever, so let's take a look as to why. While playing the game, it's a bit shocking to know that Rare, the guys responsible for the original Donkey Kong Country, had no part in this game, and that's because it truly feels just like the classics. Everything from barrel blasting to that physically impossible jump in midair after rolling off a cliff is here and feels just as it always did. Sure, there are some fundamental differences, like Diddy Kong having a jetpack or each Kong having 2 hit points now, but these are changes which add, not subtract, from the old formula. I mean, yes, it is true, the Kremlings are gone. But the Tikis do a great job filling the villain role, and for the first time, there's actually a reason why they steal DK's Banana Horde. This game clearly was a tribute to the original Donkey Kong Country. The world map is very similar, the world themes are the same, and the music, which is phenomenal by the way, is remade straight from that classic. Retro could have copied those blueprints and called it a day, but thankfully have added their own charm as well. Levels seem to be constantly changing as you run through them, whether it be in the foreground or background. It makes every level feel truly alive, and you never feel like you can let your guard down. You'll face some of the most elaborate and unique level designs as you play through, and it's rare you'll ever feel like you're doing the same thing twice. But the most noticeable thing about this game is the tough as nails difficulty. This game is hard. Very hard. I'm talking brutal. In an era where Nintendo strives on casual gaming, finally having a game which truly challenges us experienced gamers is a breath of fresh air. The game never feels unfair though, and if you fail, which I promise you, you will, you know exactly what you did wrong. Completing a stage or toppling one of the many challenging bosses gives you a great feeling of accomplishment. Then we have replay value. It's mind-boggling just how much there is to do in this game. It's much more than just collecting a couple of star coins. Let me give you a quick rundown of this so you can comprehend what I mean. All the levels already are quite lengthy, and just beating the final boss will take you longer than most platformers. But, of course, like the classic, all the levels have the 4 Kong letters to collect. In addition to that, each level also has puzzle pieces to collect, kind of like Banjo-Kazooie. These puzzle pieces are hidden in cryptic and devilish spots. Then, after completing a level, you unlock the time trial for it. Here, you race the clock to achieve bronze, silver, or gold medals. Getting gold for any level will put even the greatest speedrunners to the test, but we're not done. When you beat the final boss, you reveal the Golden Temple. But there's a catch. You can't enter the temple until you collect the 8 sacred orbs. Where are the 8 sacred orbs, you ask? Well, when you collect the Kong letters in all the levels for a certain world, you reveal the temple for that world. Completing the temple, which by the way has its own puzzle pieces to collect, rewards you one of the orbs. After doing that for all 8 worlds, you open the Golden Temple, and once completing that final stage, which also has puzzle pieces, you unlock Mirror Mode, which has you play through the entire game backwards without Diddy Kong and with only 1 piece of health. Oh, and did I forget to mention fabulous multiplayer, which doesn't feel tacked on at all? Yeah, it's ridiculous. The only thing to complain about is the controls slightly. You see, rolling is a very important mechanic in this game, and Retro decided to tie it to shaking the controller. When trying to beat the game, this is fine, but when doing time trials, this simply isn't responsive enough considering it needs to be pinpoint accurate. It really should have been assigned to the run button like it used to be. Another pet peeve is when you die during a time trial, you're brought back to the beginning with the clock still ticking from the same time when you died, forcing you to constantly hit pause and restart. When you're trying to get gold on a level, this gets very tedious, and it baffles me that the clock doesn't simply start at 0 again after a death. So what do we have here? We have a modern-day sequel to one of the greatest franchises ever, with the old formula intact, new additions to make it better, extreme difficulty, great multiplayer, ridiculous replay value, smooth graphics, and a killer soundtrack. Some of the control choices are a bit odd, and if you plan on doing some time trials, get ready to hit restart thousands of times, which gets tedious quick. But these are minor hiccups to such a complete package. If you are a hardcore gamer, this is a must-buy and gets a solid 9.5 out of 10 from me. If you are a parent thinking maybe this is a game I can play with my 7-year-old son, or just a casual gamer in general, it's kind of hard for me to recommend it. It would simply be too frustrating. It would be more frustrating than fun for the casual crowd. But for fans of the original, the King of Swing is back, and I couldn't be happier.